Most of y'all know this one. Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Woo! Alrighty, y'all. My name is Stephanie Gomez. I am the political director of Move Texas. We are a Texas-based power-building organization for young Texans, really specializing in 18 to 24-year-olds, first-time voters. We have been doing this work for over a decade, and I am so happy to be here with you. In case you don't know, we are part of a movement that is not just based in Texas. This is a national movement. Things that are about Texas or start in Texas don't just have Texas implications. We are a part of over 314 rallies in 44 states today. But of course, the best, the baddest, the hottest one is here in Austin. Thank you so much for being here with us.
I think we can probably literally say one of the hottest, so thank you so much for being here. My name is Carissa Lopez. I'm the Deputy Executive Director at the Texas Freedom Network. We are a policy and advocacy organization working on social justice issues across the state, organizing young people, organizing organizers, organizing people of faith, and I'm just so excited to be here and see all of your beautiful faces, because this is also what community looks like, right? And that is how we're going to fight back. That is how we're going. Thank you. I'm short. And that is how we're going to defend democracy. So before we get started, I want to make a few logistics announcements. Like I said, as you can tell, it is very, very hot outside. So please, please, please take care of yourselves. There's lots of water around here. There are water tents. And so please, if you need to stay hydrated, if you need more water, grab some. You can find volunteers in orange bandanas. They'll be wearing orange bandanas. And then these tents here also have water. So stay hydrated. Their bathrooms are inside the Capitol building. You do have to go through some security to get there, but it shouldn't hopefully take long. Unfortunately, the only entrance that's ADA accessible is on the north side. We're currently on the south side, so wanted to make that announcement. We do have first aid tents and EMS here. You can find them over here. They're also in bright pink shirts, so you can't miss them. And you'll find event volunteers and security in vests and orange bandanas. This event would not have happened without the many, many organizations that came together to really, like, this is a lot of work. And I want to name them all, but there's like 60 of them, y'all. Which is huge, because that's how we win. We work together, and that is what this event is all about. And I especially want to thank the Texas for All staff, the staff of our organizations, all of our volunteers, and all of you for being here. Yeah, give it up for yourselves and give it up for all of the people in this work. I also want to thank, we're going to talk about some security in a minute. We have our very, very incredible organization, the Veterans for Equality, are here helping us with security. I want to give a huge shout out to them and to the Travis County Constables in precincts 3 and 4. Good. Alrighty, y'all. So when people see how powerful we are, they might get a little titillated and want to pull up. And I am telling y'all, do not engage with them. If you see someone, they have bad vibes, they are like bad actors, we do not want to engage with them. This includes people who are not verified as press and are presenting themselves as press. If anyone encounters one of these folks, please feel free to flag it directly with any of the security folks that are along, scattered throughout the crowd, all right? Good. And of course, we want to be clear, this work does not end with a rally, with a testimony, with a vote. This is long term. And so I want all of y'all to commit
to being a part of this until Texas is what we know it should be. So, yeah! To get engaged, pull out your cell phone right now and text Texas spelled out to 30403. That's Texas to 30403. Love it. Alrighty. I think we want to do one more chant, right? Because we're about to bring up our speakers. We want to make sure you're giving them all the energy. I think y'all know this one too. The people united will never be divided. 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 Woo! Alrighty, y'all, give it up for our first speaker, Dr. Michael Waters.
160 summers ago, United States Senator General Gordon Granger and 200,000 Union troops made port upon the sandy shores of Galveston. Their arrival heralded the emancipation of 250,000 enslaved people across the state of Texas. Those people included many of my ancestors. History records that the formerly enslaved rejoiced at their newfound freedom. They shouted with jubilance. They raised their voices as a chorus to sing sacred hymns. They prayed earnestly with their faces lifted towards the heavens. And they leapt up in the air with joyful tears streaming down their faces. For generations in Texas, they had been politically disenfranchised, denied the right to vote. As enslaved people, they had no worker protections, no workers' rights. And the state's economy was built upon their backs without compensation. They were not free to choose who they loved. And many of them were separated from their family members, some that they would never see again. They were routinely denied access to health care. They were denied a proper access to a proper education. And they were force-fed a Christian nationalist theology that dared to uplift the Ten Commandments, but neglected to teach the values of welcome to the stranger, to the foreigner, and to the immigrant. With the arrival of Gordon Granger and the Union troops, they believed that their Texas nightmare was over. Yet 160 summers later, we are again living the Texas nightmare. Now 60 years since the passage of the Voting Rights Act, the Voting Rights Bill has been gutted and eroded. President Trump's demand for redistricting in Texas, a demand that Texas lawmakers still have time to courageously oppose. This demand threatens to make Texas an apartheid state. Instead of prioritizing flood victims and their families after a devastating summer flood in the Hill Country that left over 100 souls dead, including many precious children. And indeed, we pray that their souls be at rest and their families be comforted. Governor Abbott is bringing on another flood. This flood will make Texans sicker, poorer, and less safe. Friends, I want us to be clear this day that there are no ships coming to arrive now in Galveston Bay. This time, no one's coming to save us. No, we have come from all points across the state of Texas to declare that this time we will save ourselves. Oh yes, we believe that truth crushed to the earth will rise again. We believe that the moral arc of the universe is long and it bends towards justice, but only if you bend it, and we've come to bend the arc towards justice. Yes, we are prepared to bend the arc until voting rights are restored. We're prepared to bend the arc until civil rights are restored. We're prepared to bend the arc until human rights are restored. We're prepared to bend the arc until environmental rights are restored. We're prepared to bend the arc until educational rights are restored. We're prepared to bend the arc until women no longer bleed out in emergency rooms. And we're prepared to bend the arc until children no longer bleed out in classrooms. No, Texas, we're not looking on anyone to save us. This time, we'll save ourselves. We're going to do this work not just for ourselves, but for the sake of our children, for the sake of our children's children, for the sake of our children's children's children. We must not grow weary in well-doing, for if we faint not, Texas, we shall reap a harvest. No one's coming to save us, but do not be dismayed. For as Barbara Jordan declared, for all of its uncertainty, we cannot flee the future. A nation, and dare I say a state, is formed by the willingness of each of us to share in the responsibility of upholding the common good. Who here is willing to share in the responsibility of upholding the common good? So Texas, let's keep fighting together. Let's keep working together. Let's keep resisting together. Let's keep building together. For together we shall win. And one day soon, justice shall flow like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream.
Woo! Wow, y'all. What a great way to get us started. Our next speaker needs no introduction. I want to bring on the stage your Congressman, Lloyd Doggett.
Welcome, Texas Patriots. We gather today to fight the Trump takeover, to say, hell no, we're not going to let you in next year by your fixing the election with crooked maps this year. Forcefully calling out Trump's tyranny every time, every day, every time he does something is the start, but it's not the end. We've got to do much more. We need to bring to fight to Trump and his minions, where he insists that we surrender, we fight. Where he assumes he's won, we fight. Here he is demanding 5 more seats. 5 more seats from Texas. That's not some inside game. That's 5 more seats to deny 15 million Americans access to a doctor. It's so he can add even more restrictions to the right of a woman to make her own choices. It's 5 more votes so he can keep his Trump tariff taxes driving prices up and up. He wants them high, but the focus on any mention of the Epstein sex tapes real low. So he wants to be able to have 5 more to say no congressional subpoenas. In fact, he wants 5 more to say he can do whatever he damn well pleases. And we say no. And I say to you today, if despite our steadfast opposition, his redistricting bill is signed into law next week, as some think it will, the question is, what do we do then besides boo? And I would say to you that each of the districts that he has designed very carefully were set up to elect a Trump minion who will prevail by the same margin that he prevailed in each of these districts, some 10% last year. But I want to say to you about that 10%, that next year he's not going to be on the ballot to draw the MAGA vote. And in the redrawn district that is nearest the one where we're standing right now, Hispanics have a strong majority, and Biden got 49% against Trump. Is there anyone here who believes that we ought to abandon that or any of these other redrawn districts and surrender them to Trump? Do you think that a dynamic nominee and a united effort by all of us can beat Trump at his own game? It is so very encouraging to see so many young patriots here today. You know, they're the folks that are going to have to live the longest with the effects of this sorry Trump policies. And as happy as we are to see them engaged, I don't believe there's anyone here that thinks Bernie Sanders, who was approaching 84, is not needed to give his experience voice, to spread the message that our working families deserve better, and our top 10%, our top 1% for sure, deserve to pay their fair share of taxes. And while I want every young person, every young leader we can get, you know, I'm glad that one of the patriots you're about to hear from today is a woman named Dolores Huelcha. And it's so good to see these farm worker flags. Dolores is the one who created Si Se Puede, and Si Se Puede is what we can do. You're going to hear from her, even though she has some 95 courageous years to her life. She's still fighting injustice. The only way that we will stop Trump's fascist authoritarianism is to benefit from the contributions of every generation, from the youngest to the very oldest. Everyone united, not fighting one another, but fighting together the threat to our freedoms. And I've been so pleased to see right here up front these Ukrainian flags. Because we know we got a president whose middle name is appeasement when it comes to Putin. Next Saturday, same place at noon, we'll be celebrating Ukrainian Independence Day right here, and I hope some of you will come. You know, our democracy will not be lost in a flash. It begins ebbing away, step by outrageous step. Already Trump, who says he wants his military to look a little more like Hitler's. He sent our military in against the wishes of mayors and governors to Los Angeles, to the District of Columbia, and says he's looking at other cities. The reason he's sending our military in, totally unjustified, is not because of crime or immigrants, but it's because he envisions a day when he will use that military against us. And while his Gestapo-like tactics, Trump's masked agents out there grabbing students off the streets for no good reasons, he's not doing that because of one or two students. He's doing it because he wants the power to grab any of us one day. We don't need the National Guard on our streets. We need national guardrails on a lawless president. This is a truly defining moment for American democracy. Will we approach 250 years of true democracy or not? Can we stop him Can we stop him by uniting ourselves and not dividing? We cannot remain the land of the free on our 250th anniversary unless we are all truly the home of the brave. That's what's at stake in our response to this redistricting attempt to fix the elections, and why we must unite to fight him, not one another. So today, with hope, with inspiration from this gathering, with love in our hearts for our neighbors who we must win over and get engaged, I believe we can build to a more just America with opportunities for all. That's what we seek, and together we shall overcome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Heck yeah, Representative Doggett! Every day in Texas, new leaders are made, and it is the greatest honor to introduce someone who really, when her community needed it, stepped into leadership. I want y'all to give the biggest welcome to someone born and bred in Sandy Creek. Welcome, Fabi Orostieta.
Hi, my name is Fabi and I'm from Sandy Creek. That's where I grew up and that's where I currently live. When people think about the Texas flood, they think about Kerrville, and my heart breaks for what that community went through and is still currently going through. But the story of the flood isn't just Kerrville, it's the whole hill country. San Angelo, San Sabata, Liberty Hill, and right here in Travis County, in all of your backyard, just 48 minutes from here is my home, Sandy Creek. Sandy Creek was devastated. Many homes on street like Long Hollow Loop, Yupon, and Long Hollow Trail have been a total loss or washed away. On the fourth day after the flood, my mom and I went to the church to see how we could help. They told us we didn't need volunteers, just translators, so my mom stayed. There, her friend who lives on the road behind us told her how her home had been washed away. We had no idea, and this was in my own backyard. When we went to see it, no one was helping. So my mom, my friends, and I set up in post in front of a neighbor's home, my friend, a home that he had just lost. And we wanted to make sure that he and everyone on our street had got the help that they needed. Within days, people were looking at me. With the help of other everyday people, we were coordinating teams, calling for heavy machinery, figuring out construction crews. I was making the calls, because nobody else was. Because if I didn't, my neighbors weren't going to get what they needed. But over and over, I kept asking, why did it have to be me? I'm just a regular person. I do not have experience. I am not FEMA. I am a resident and a survivor just like everyone else. And the truth is, that's still my reality. And I'm still out there every day. I'm still reaching people who need help. We're still trying to get electrical and plumbing hooked up. We're still driving neighbors to sign paperwork. We're still helping homeless families stuck in temporary housing, worrying every day when the funds are going to run out. People think we've gotten help, that we're okay, but we're not. Families are doubled up. Neighbors are paying out of pocket and going into debt just to survive. And I keep asking, why is this on us? We pay our taxes and insurance. Isn't that supposed to be there when we need to use it? To Governor Abbott and the Texas state legislators, we know there is money. Governor Abbott has moved hundreds of millions of dollars between departments for different disasters. Well, we have a disaster right here in Texas with flood victims whose homes have been lost and washed away. Where are our tax dollars now? Why are we not at the forefront of the agenda for your special session? And to everyone here hearing me today, we need you too. We need volunteers, people who can run heavy machinery, people who can help neighbors rebuild or spread the word and connect us to help. We cannot do this alone. Because Sandy Creek is still here. We are still struggling and we still need your help. If you have a heart for the people in your own backyard, in your own community that are still suffering and experience trauma daily, then please, it's not too late to make a change to help today. Will you help us? If you can help to volunteer, please sign up at bit.ly/help Sandy Creek. Thank you.
Our government may have forgotten about our communities, but we're not going to. Shame on Abbott. Shame on Abbott. Shame on Abbott. All right, y'all. Our next speaker first. I want to make sure, again, reiterate, stay hydrated, please. It is very hot and humid out, so don't forget, drink your water. I also want to make a kind of weird ask. We want our message to get out there, right? So that means we need media and our live stream to have a good view of the stage. So folks, if you are on my right, if you're holding signs up really high, I love to see it from the stage, but unfortunately it's blocking some cameras. So kind of go up and down, right? Especially during the speakers. If you could let us have a good view, I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Our next speaker is a good friend of mine. It is who I want to be when I grow up, and an all-around badass. I want to welcome Brianna Brown, the co-executive director for the Texas Organizing Project.
TOP! It's a beautiful thing to see so many people here. who love our state, our home, our democracy. We're here because we know what's at stake and we know the truth. Right now in Austin, they're pushing anti-trans bills that target our kids. They're pouring energy into cruelty instead of health care, flood relief, and the schools that our kids deserve. And they do that because we refuse to play by their rigged game. Because we have the audacity, the nerve to say that we want to invigorate a democracy that we toiled for, that we died for, that we fought for, and not crumble that democracy. We have the nerve to reject apartheid conditions that have a minority ruling over us instead of representing us. We have the nerve to say that that democracy should look like us and share our values. And let's be clear, depravity is not a value. Let's be clear, greed is not a value. Cruelty is not a value. Cowardice is not a value. Corruption is not a value. Those are character traits of a politics that uses their power for control and not service. That is the politics of a party that wants to piss on us and tell us it's raining. But guess what, Texans? Just like my dad used to say, it's good for us to be pissed off, but we won't be pissed on. We must continue to resist. We must continue to show out just like we are doing today. I'm an organizer. I got an organizer toolbox. In that toolbox are three things. One, we must continue to recruit. You know 4 people at the PTA meeting, a friend of yours on Facebook, someone who kind of lowers their glare whenever you start talking about what's going on. They need to be with us. Here's a rap. Organizers, we love a rap. You go to that person. You tell them, I am scared for our state. And there is something that each of us can do. Can we go to a coffee? And then once you do that, you text Texas to 3040 and you get plugged into the movement. We need everybody. Number 2, you got to join an organization. Look around. This rally is a fierce quilt of progressive organizations all across this state. Labor, where you at? Grassroots, statewide coalitions, national orgs with local roots. Many of us are united under the Texas for All umbrella. Go to www.texasforall.org. Do that. Find a group. Join us. Rugged individualism has never been how we win. We did not win the end of chattel slavery alone. We did not win the right to vote alone. We did not win our civil rights alone. That's the third thing we have to continue to do. Embrace interdependence. This is what data says. Data says that trauma can be passed on in our genes. So can triumph. We stand on the shoulders of a people who knew this fundamental principle of organizing. We need each other. I need you. 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 And here it is. You need me. Tú eres mi otro yo. You are my other me. At the Texas Organizing Project, we talk about interdependence this way. We say we are stronger together. Does anyone here believe that we are in fact stronger together? When I say stronger, I want you to say, when I say stronger, I want you to say, and we're going to up the ante a little bit. When I say stronger and you say, I want you to look to a neighbor. Look at them like you're seeing the kid that they were, the adult they are today, the person they aspire to be. You see their humanity and you say together. So when I say stronger, you find a neighbor, you look them in their eye and you say, we are stronger. 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 When Texans of every race and every zip code and every background bound together, we are unstoppable. Unstoppable. And they know it. We will not be ruled over. We will be represented. Thank you.
Hell yeah, what a speaker! Alrighty, y'all, we have folks from all over Texas here today. We are going to say hi to one of our besties who is Puro 956. Yeah, y'all here? Alrighty. They have traveled to be here. Give it up for Tania Chavez Camacho, Executive Director of Lupe Votes. Puro 956!
My name is Tania Chavez Camacho, and I stand here before you not just as an organizer, but as a community member, as a woman filled with anger, with sorrow, and most importantly, with resolve. Right now, our communities in the borderlands of the Rio Grande Valley are grappling with the real consequences of bad policy making. The big bad bill did not pass because of the overwhelming support from the people. It passed because of loyalty to one man, resulting in the most successful robbery of the working class American. How we draw districts has consequences. Time and time again, congressional districts in Texas have determined the quality of life for the most vulnerable. For the single parent who works day and night and barely makes the rent. For the senior who has to choose between paying for their medicine or buying groceries. For the hundreds of Texas colonias who live without streetlights and drainage. For the hundreds of families whose loved ones are being kidnapped and disappear. Redistricting matters. And time again, Texas has been found in the courts to have violated the Federal Voting Rights Act and to have discriminated against Latinos in the process. Had one more congressperson from Texas, just one more, voted against the big bad bill in the first stage, it would have never left the House. But now all of us are here. Community health programs in South Texas are closing their doors. And people are staying outside the county waiting for rent relief at 3 o'clock in the morning. Our food banks can barely keep stock. It is an understatement to say that our leadership has failed all of us. They operate from behind a desk, from podiums and presidential desks. But the damage they do It lands right here in our streets, in our neighborhoods, in our colonias, in our homes, in our tables. I come from a long line of organizers. From Dolores Huerta, Cesar Chavez, Rebecca Flores, Juanita Valdez Cox. And all of them endure violence, racism, displacement. But they dare to imagine freedom and refuse to stand down when they came for us, because they fought back just like we will. But today I have hope, because I look at all of you and I just don't see a crowd. I see a movement of resilience. I see power that no president, no politician, cage or badge can ever understand. I know what it looks like to survive against every odd. And I keep showing up anyways. This is the power of our community. This is the power of collective care. This is the power of people who have been kicked, bruised, blamed, and yet we rise again. And so all that anger, I want you to feel it in your bones. And I want you to feel the secret power of resistance. They may have money, they may have weapons, but we have each other. And nothing is more dangerous than corrupt systems in a community that is brave enough to fight for it. So whether it is your first protest or your 20th, I ask you to march with us, to rally with us, to go out and vote with us. Whether you're stepping into this movement for the first time or you have been in it from the beginning, this moment needs you. Raise your voices, lend your hand, share your stories. Because when we show up for one another, we build a force that no border, no wall, no fascist regimes can ever contain. What they fear most is just not one voice shouting, but hundreds and thousands rising together. What they fear most is a movement they cannot control and people that they cannot silence. A fire that cannot be extinguished. And as we said at Lupe Votes, I want you to say it with me. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos because we are Pueblo Power. We are here and we are not going anywhere. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. Y si nos echan, nos regresamos.
I don't want you to forget to text Texas spelled out to 30403 to stay involved, because this is a fight for the long haul. Texas 30403. I am so excited to introduce our next speaker from the Texas AFL-CIO. As the child of a union organizer, I am so proud to have our labor partners in this fight with us. So please join me in welcoming Leonard Aguilar, the Secretary-Treasurer for the Texas AFL-CIO.
Thank you very much. All right, how's everybody doing today? Awesome, awesome. Let me hear you again. How is everybody doing today? I got to tell you what, when I woke up this morning, I didn't think it was going to be this good, but this is freaking awesome. Thank you all for being here today. This is a great event. My name is Leonard Aguilar, and I have the honor of representing roughly 250,000 union members across the state of Texas. As the Secretary-Treasurer of the Texas AFL-CIO, we represent many types of workers: nurses, painters, electricians, hotel workers, you name it. If somebody's working on it, we're representing them. And it's an honor to be here. But first, I got to ask, a lot of people made the trip up here. How many people do we have from the RGV? There you go. Good to see you guys. How many people over from East Texas and Houston? Come about North Texas. You in the house? There you go. Central Texas, where are you at? That's what I'm talking about. Also, to all my union members, I got to show you guys some love. Where are you guys at? Raise it up. There you go. To all the union members, thank you for being here. Well, here we are again. Just a couple of weeks ago, we were up right over here under the shade tree talking about the same issues. And here we are again, and I'm going to say the same thing. We got to tell it straight, and it's time for Governor Abbott to just cut the bullshit. It's time to cut the bullshit. He's using session after special session to push Trump's political agenda. And it's not doing anything to help any of us that we need right now. You've heard it here today. You've heard it from this stage. We need help now. There's other issues that are more important. And he's working at behest of the president and working for Trump. Greg Abbott is letting Trump take over Texas. He's letting Trump take over Texas. Are we going to let that happen? No, we're not. Are we going to let that happen? With this redistricting scheme, he's trying to suppress the black and brown vote. Bottom line, plain and simple. That's it. He doesn't want us to vote. And I don't know why. Do y'all know why? What's that? That's right. He's scared. He's scared of what's going on right now. He's scared of his policies and how miserable they're doing. And that's the president scared. So he calls his buddy and says, I need 5 more seats. Then that's just rigging the system. Trump knows he's in trouble, and he wants to change the rules midstream. And he wants to help his billionaire buddies, and we're not going to let that happen. We're not going to let that happen. Right now, there's a bunch of folks that left the state to stop that, and we got to thank them. To all those Democrats that left the state, stand up, raise your hand, raise your voices, and say thank you. Say thank you for fighting for our democracy. Say thank you for fighting for us. Right there with all those signs. Hold them up. Let everybody see them. Let everybody see them. Let them hear you in the building. We're here to fight, and we're not going anywhere. Greg Abbott and Donald Trump, they don't know what the hell they did. They don't know what they've got themselves into. They don't know what they got themselves into, because when those Democrats left to break quorum to defend democracy, they stirred up we got to be correct. They stirred up a bunch of mess. And it launched a national campaign. A national campaign that was started by labor, started by the allies that have helped put this together. Across the country, people are standing up. So those Democrats have done what they had to do. They have brought the attention to the Texas Capitol and the redistricting scheme that they are doing. So thank you again. Thank you to those that have left. Thank you for the fight. Labor has been in this fight from day one. And now today, thousands, like you heard at the opening, thousands of people across the country are alongside y'all. Thousands, over 300 actions just like this across the country. And it's happening. And it's starting here in Austin, Texas. The country's listening to Austin, Texas. Because of our movement, we're in this for the long haul. The next step is going to come in, and the next process is going to take place in this fight. And we got to be there for that next step. They're going to push it through, and they're going to do everything they can. And we're not done fighting yet, and we're going to continue to fight as we go through this. But we have to remember, this isn't a Republican or a Democratic issue. This isn't a Republican or Democratic issue. We can't let them divide us like that. This scheme is nothing but an attack on working people across the great state of Texas. And we have to come together. We have to come together because there are more of us than them. And once we realize that power, we're going to be dangerous. I tell you, we're going to be dangerous. So we need to build this movement even together, even bigger, even broader, even bolder as we leave here today and we listen to the great speakers that are coming up behind us. But I need to hear you guys do a little bit of chanting here, just a little bit. So when I say, are you ready to fight? I want to hear you say, damn right. Can we do that? All right, here we go. Are you ready to fight? Are you ready to fight? Are you ready to fight? On behalf of the Texas AFL-CIO, in solidarity.
Sorry, hi y'all. Are y'all having a great time? Heck yeah, alrighty. I have an absolute gem for y'all next. I'm sure most of you have heard of her. We are going to bring to the stage a person who has been voted the best drag queen in Austin. A person who, with the ACLU, sued to stop the drag ban. And a person who is on the LGBTQ commission here in the city of Austin. Give the biggest welcome, all the hype, to our baddest baddie, Bridget Bandit.
Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? I am so thrilled to be here with y'all. My name is Bridget Bandit, and I am a born and raised proud Texas drag queen. Now, before I was a drag queen, I was a leader at my church, where I led youth group and I would lead church camp. And as a former church camp leader, I cannot be any more disgusted and disappointed with Greg Abbott and Donald Trump using the tragedy of the Hill Country to steal power and rig our elections. Texans deserve better than this. And I believe in the power of our community all together to fight back. And I refuse to let these bigots define what it means to be a Texan. So to the Trump administration, I have one thing to say to you. Y'all may go to hell, and I will go to Texas. So on that note, are y'all ready for a drag performance? Let's have some fun. My name is Bridget Bandit.
How about that? Woo! All right, our next wonderful, amazing speaker here to fire y'all up is Wanda Mosley, Deputy Policy Director for Black Voters Matter.
Good afternoon, Texas! Okay, look, Bridget just set the stage on fire. I know y'all trying to catch your breath. But as a girl who was born in Dallas, who graduated from TCU, I'm going to need some more love. Good afternoon, Texas! Thank you so much for having me here today. I bring you greetings from Atlanta in this great state of Georgia, where we stand in solidarity with all the actions that you are encountering to fight back. We also want to send our love and our appreciation to your state leaders who know what it means to fight back, who know what it means to resist. And so, listen, when we made the decision after our historical wins in Georgia in 2020 to come in, thank you. I'll take some love for that. Thank you. We decided the next state we wanted to come into and help make history was Texas. And so the way our organization works, you won't find a Black Voters Matter office, but what you will find are hundreds of grassroots organizations, community leaders. It might be a church. It might be a Black-owned restaurant or a barbershop. It's the D9 organization. Shout out to my sorority sisters from Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. It might be your state leaders like TOP, like Texas for All. All the wonderful people here are doing the work to get Texas all the things that she and you deserve. And so what I wanted to do today was come up with a list of things that your elected leaders should be working on instead of trying to redraw maps mid-decade. So in 2021, who remembers that awful freeze when the grid failed? Has anything been done to fix the grid since? And then let me go back to 2021 though, because I had coworkers in Dallas where her family, and she slept in her car, risked their lives because it was too cold in their house. But yet we saw no movement on that. We saw no policy on that. We saw no fixes to the grid. And then the following year, another storm. Not as bad as the one previous, but bad enough to keep power off long enough for people to lose the food in their refrigerators. Has your state done anything to make sure no child is hungry? Going on with my list of things that your elected officials should be doing instead of worrying about maps that are not due to be redrawn for another 5 years. So when I did my research on what happened to the grid in Texas, because I'm sitting at home going, but wait a minute, Houston is like the energy capital, not of this country, but of the world. How does that happen? And then I came across something called ERCOT. Enough said. But again, have your elected officials done anything to fix that? No. And then the following year in 2023, your governor had the nerve, the audacity to team up with other Southern governors and reject federal aid for school lunch programs. So look, we all know, and it's been said before, so I don't have to repeat it, why this mid-century redistricting is happening. Cheaters, liars, all of the things. But at this moment, like my sister Brianna from Top said earlier, this is where we squad up and we resist. But in addition to resist, because that was our mantra in 2016, we're going to add to it what has been our motto at Black Voters Matter since 2024, we fight back. So so when we know we have children who are hungry, what are we going to do? We fight back. When we know that there is no gun safety in this state, what are we going to do? We fight back. When we see our lawmakers who are brave and bold and inspiring people from California to New York to join in this fight, what do we say? We fight back. And so again, I am so happy to be here. I am so proud of the people in this audience for showing up today. Each and every one of you is an organizer. Talk to your neighbors. Talk to your friends. Talk to the people at your church, your synagogue, your mosque. Join up with these legacy organizations. And if they ain't doing what y'all want to do, start your own. Because this is the moment where we, the people, will have our voices heard. This is the moment where we, the people, demand change. This is the moment where we, the people, remind those elected officials, you work for us. And so think of this time as their review. Don't we all get a review at our job? Don't we all get called into the office to talk about the work that we did? And if we don't do a good job, we're going to be looking for a new job. So as I close out, I want you all to say this with me. You gonna lose your job. Ready? You gonna lose your job. Say it. You gonna lose your job. Say it. You gonna lose your job. One more time. You gonna lose your job because we fight back. We fight back. We fight back. We fight back. Texas, I love you. Keep on fighting. Thank you.
Okay, our next speaker is a friend of mine and one of your progressive champions in Washington, D.C., Congressman Greg Casar.
Thank you, guys. I'm Congressman Greg Casar, and I am so damn proud to represent my city of Austin, Texas. And I'm not here to give you a campaign speech or consultant talking points, because the danger we're facing is so much bigger than any one of us. This is about the state of our country. And we're in really hard times here in America right now. I was just at court with the constituent in immigration court. He had protected status from our government because he could be killed if he went back to Venezuela, where he was a political activist. So he showed up in court in his Sunday best to renew his protected status. And without any translation, the Trump prosecutor said, put him on the bus, arrest him, and send him back to Venezuela. The judge, without asking him any questions, without any due process, gavelled down, and I was the first person to tell him what was happening to him as the handcuffs were put on him right there outside the courtroom. Then yesterday, I went to the Teton Hutto Detention Center right here on the edge of Austin, where I had heard which we should shut down that private detention center because we had heard that from constituents, family members, that people were burning up inside of there. And under federal law, a member of Congress is immediately allowed inside federal facilities, even if they're run by billionaire corporations. And they had us sit outside in the sun. They wouldn't let defense attorneys in or me in. They won't let it happen. But this isn't just about immigrant rights, because these attacks are on the rights of U.S. citizens as well. Donald Trump just signed a law to kick 17 million Americans off of their health care. And in this building behind me, they're calling a special session not on rebuilding or on flood relief, but on redistricting. So when I feel lost or down, when I feel horrible, I think about all of you. I think about all of us. Look around. You all make me so proud of Austin, Texas. I'm proud that our city is fighting. I'm proud of the grit that we have, even when the odds are stacked against us. And we need that fight and that grit now more than ever. We need collective action like this now more than ever. Because the only answer to oligarchy is organizing. The only answer to authoritarianism is grassroots democracy. People all over the country are looking for that fight, and they can see us right here on the Capitol grounds in the heart of darkness. But here in Austin, Texas, we're a shining light. That's you guys. That's not a political leader. That's not an elected official. It's y'all. Authoritarianism is what we're facing. And when you feel that pit in your stomach, that despair, and when you ask, what can I even do? You are showing people what we do. We are showing them what democracy looks like. Because without guarantee of glory or short-term victory, we refuse to give up and say, well, they have all the money, so they've got all the power. Hell no, we've got the power. We say in one voice, we are here. We're together. We're going to look out for one another. We shall not be moved. We're not going anywhere. Show me what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. And we've shown them for generations. Because even though the threat we face may seem new, they're using the same old playbook. Puppet politicians trying to change the rules to keep billionaires in charge. Those billionaires spending millions to drown out our voices in elections. They try to change the lines in the election rules to stop them from being held accountable. That's not right, and we're not going to stand for it. We're going to stand for it. Donald Trump is the most corrupt president in American history. And Ken Paxton's the most corrupt politician in Texas history. And they're trying to pull off the most corrupt bargain I've ever seen. But as they try to kick us off of our health care, as they try to rig this election, we're not going to let them. Are we, Austin, Texas? When Donald Trump is defunding Planned Parenthood and ripping families apart with masked officers, Trump doesn't have a plan to win the election. He has a plan to rig the election. Are we going to let him? They're doing what they always try to do. From Bull Connor to George Wallace, they want to silence the voices of working Texans and Texans of color. With this redistricting plan, they're going to move 10 million people from district to district for no good reason. And 2/3 of them are people of color. We know their game. We know their game. Trump and Abbott want that to happen quietly. Are we going to let that happen? If Trump and Abbott had their way, they would have passed these maps weeks ago. Are we going to let that happen? Trump and Abbott want you to feel powerless. They didn't want a quorum break. They wanted to get away with this. But thanks to your fight, thanks to our fight here in Texas and our leaders' fight, now we've got people in California fighting back, saying to those California Republican members of Congress, if you don't stop what's happening in Texas, you're going to lose your jobs. We're going to keep fighting these maps, and we're going to carry that fight through November, when we're going to make sure that no matter how they draw those lines, we're going to send the Trumps and the Abbotts and the Paxtons to the dustbin of history where they belong. And after we do that, we're not done though. And this is the part that some of the establishment doesn't want us to say. Because once we've sent them to the dustbin of history, it's time to build a Democratic Party that does not leave working people in Texas behind. Build a true pro-worker, anti-billionaire party. And it's time to end stock trading by politicians of all parties. Ban super PACs. Get big money out of politics. End Citizens United. Make the minimum wage a living wage. Expand Social Security so that no senior in this country lives in poverty. And we're going to tax billionaires so we can have affordable childcare, affordable housing, and affordable medicine. Maybe, instead of trying to blame women or immigrants or queer Texans for our problems, maybe we expand people's rights. Give people back the right to abortion care. Bring back the right to a pathway to citizenship for all. How about the right to an affordable life? A right to a union? How about a right to love who you want to love and be who you want to be? What do we think, Austin, Texas? How about human rights for every child, whether you live in Central Texas or if you're being bombed and starved in Gaza? Human rights for everybody, period. This is not going to be easy, but generations past have had it just as hard, if not harder, which is why it is my deep honor to introduce someone who has shown us all how to fight hard in tough times. Dolores Huerta is an American hero. She has fought for working people her whole life, from the 60s with the farm workers to being here in Austin, Texas when I was a 25-year-old running for city council, to standing on the steps of the Capitol protesting for workers' right to a water break. Dolores Huerta always shows up. She's here with us today. So let's bring her on with the most famous chant that she made famous all around this nation, that sends a chill down the spines of dictators and wannabe authoritarians. When I say se puede, you say si se puede. Se puede? Se puede? Se puede? Se puede? Se puede? She's coming on stage. Let's make sure she hears it. Se puede? Se puede? Se puede? Dolores Huerta, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all for inviting me to join your party today. So we are gathering here today to remind Governor Abbott and Lieutenant Governor Paxton that we are here to remind them that they are violating their oath. They are violating the oath that they made to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Texas. And we want them to remind them of how many people have fought for freedom, for democracy here. You know, and this is like, we have to remember that there was a war to not be ruled by kings, right? The War for Independence, 1776. And then there was another war called the Civil War to free us from slavery, right? And so that people could have representation, okay? And then there was another war, World War II. You know, my dad was in World War II. My brothers were in World War II. How many people died? How many people were killed, gave their life so we could save our democracy in the United States of America? How many people died? Millions of people all over the world. So you know what? They have sacrificed. They sacrificed their lives so that we could have a democracy. So now, this is why we're here today, because we're saying that fight is continuing, and people here today are the patriots that are going to continue to fight for our democracy, right? And you know, we don't have to do so much more work. There are so many of you here today, but even though we are many, we have to say we are not enough. We are many, but we are not enough. And the only way that we can really free Texas, okay, free Texas, is that we have to just really go out there and do an awful lot of work. So just think about this. If each one of us can invite people to our home or ask them to open up their home, and we have a few people that gather, and then let's talk about this. Let's talk about saving our democracy. How do we do that? And when we had a little, we'll call it a peace party, okay? We'll call it a democracy party, all right? Then we have to talk about the things that they are trying to use to divide us. Now, one of those things that they use to divide us, you know, is the whole issue of racism, right? Somehow, some people, like our current administration, Trump, and I believe Abbott is right in there with them, they somehow believe that the only people that should live in the United States are people that are lighter in skin. We have to remind them the United States has always been a brown state, okay? So when many of your great-grandfathers came here, like two of my great-grandfathers, one from Spain, one from England, this was a brown country. On my dad's side, the indigenous side, they were here to greet them. To the United States of America. So this whole issue of racism that they used to divide us, we're going to say, you know what? There is a way that we can actually do this. And we can talk about this when we have our little gathering. Number one, we just have to remind everybody we are one human race. We are one human race. And where did our human race begin? Somebody shout it out. Africa. Africa. Our human race began in Africa. So if we are all Africans, yes, let's say it. We are all Africans. We are all Latinos. We are all Asians. And so we can say to all of the neo-Nazis out there, all of you white supremacists out there, get over it, you're Africans. Get over it, you're Africans, okay? So we will not let them divide us, and then we have to carry that message to the people that we are organizing. And one other thing, too, hey, what about women's rights? It's about time. So I want to say, as a mother of 11 children, as a mother of 11 children, I do believe women's right to abortion. So please carry that message when we have our organizing gathering, all right? And an easy way to do this is to remember the words of Benito Juárez, the great president of Mexico, who said this: El respeto al derecho ajeno es la paz. Respecting other people's rights is peace. How many children you have or not have, that is your human right. That is your human right. Who you love, who you live with, who you marry, if it happens to be somebody of the same sex, it is your human right. Respecting people's rights, okay? Respecting other people's rights. That is actually the way that we hold the peace. That's the way that we can stop the division. So don't be afraid to take that message out there, okay? We have to be the organizers to make that happen. And so when we do this organizing, we're going to be able to multiply our forces, because we are in a fight for safe democracy, not only in Texas, not only in the United States, but for the whole entire world, right? I know people say the eyes of Texas are upon you. Hey, the eyes of the world are upon Texas right now. And I want to let you know that we in California are with you. We are going to hit the streets. We're going to start organizing. We're going to do redistricting so that we can, whatever they try to do here, that we can counteract it, okay? So I wish us a lot of luck in doing that. So I think we are ready to organize. And I just want to say to you, you know, when I have been organizing for 70 years, I was a school teacher, and when I found out, yes, a school teacher. Yeah, long live the school teachers, right? But when I found out that it could make magic happen, that when you actually got people together and that they use their power to elect people to the school board, to the city council, to the state house, to the Congress, and that you could pass a law, and that law governed what we do, what our families do, that you could actually make that happen. I thought, oh my God, I think this is what the founding fathers thought when they came up with the idea of we the people, for the people, right? I think it was like magic. And I got so enamored. I thought, this is the way that we make changes. This is the way that we are able to obtain justice. And you know, so I quit teaching to become an organizer. All right. And I've been organizing ever since. And thanks to a great man named Fred Ross Sr. There's a documentary about him called American Agitator. If you haven't seen it, try to see that, American Agitator. But this is what we have to do. You know, Senator Robert Kennedy, he said these words just minutes before he was killed. We have responsibilities and obligations to our fellow citizens. We have obligations and responsibilities to our fellow citizens. We have obligations, we can say, and responsibilities to save our democracy, okay? So I'm going to ask you, who is going to save democracy? Who is going to save democracy? Who is going to save democracy? So let's get out there. We have to organize. We make that commitment. We've got to multiply our numbers, and we know that we can actually make it happen. Because what happened, I'm not going to say, when we organize, I want you to say we win. When we organize, when we organize, we win. And then I'm going to ask another question that I know you know the answer. And the question is, who's got the power? What kind of power? Let's do that a little bit louder so that we want the haters to hear us, okay? We want the haters to hear us. Let's go one more time. Who's got the power? What kind of power? Are we going to use our people power to save democracy, to stop the fascism? What do we say? Se puede. Se puede. All together, let's go. Si se puede. Si se puede. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. Thank you. Que viva Texas.
Truly an icon. Alrighty, y'all. Thank you so much for being here with us. It is absolutely amazing to see y'all's energy. I know that sun is hot, but we're hotter. Our passion for a better Texas is hotter. Reminder, if you have not already joined this fight, I want y'all in here for the long run. Remember to pull out those cell phones and text Texas to 30403. Y'all are going to hear that a lot. We have another speaker coming up, and this is a buddy of mine. This is a person who leads an organization who is defending against all of these disgusting, terrible, and violent attacks that are happening in this building day in and day out. This is someone who is tireless and honestly an inspiration, I think, for me, who has been organizing in Texas and being able to watch them lead. I want y'all to give it up for Emmett Schelling, Executive Director of the TED.
Thank you so much. Oh, tough act to follow, I will say. It's great to be with y'all today. I'm a proud Texan, and, you know, in my opinion, more importantly, when I think of myself and who I am, I think of myself as needing to be a good dad, a good husband, good brother, mediocre son sometimes, if you ask my mom. And currently, the proposed legislation would put me in the women's bathroom. In fact, we are nearing a decade of failed leadership and battles over bathrooms in an attempt to force a bill down Texans' throats that we have continually rejected time after time after time. The continued attack on trans Texans is just yet another example of the continuing overall attack on Texans' autonomy, freedom, and liberty. Before any kind of flood relief was filed, we saw both the House and the Senate file a damn bathroom bill. This is yet another example of failed leadership motivated by failed priorities. One of the things that I hear a lot is, I'm with the trans community, but I don't think I know anyone trans. I can assure you, Texas is the second highest population of trans people. We are your friends, we are your neighbors, we are your colleagues. We are the impatient people at the H-E-B on a Sunday, trying to get out before 45 minutes. But this is a moment where we understand so much is on the line. Monica Roberts drilled through my head that trans people are the canaries in the coal mine of the civil rights movement. So I ask you today, please don't let the evidence of our warnings fall on deaf ears. Show up, interrupt, and intervene. We have witnessed trans Texans be openly brutalized in the very building behind me with no repercussion and no recourse. As we come together and soundly reject what state leaders are trying to propose that do not serve Texans, that do not serve our infrastructure, that do not serve our schools, that do not serve our electric grid. At the end of the day, we must demand better. So I ask you to come together and make it a better tomorrow by telling the state leadership, our federal leadership, this is not who we are. We are not people motivated by hate, motivated by wanting to other and separate ourselves from our neighbors. We are Texans, and we are strong, and we are together.
Thank you. Thank you, Emmett. Y'all, I have some exciting news. We are 5,000 strong today here at the Capitol. This is what change looks like. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a long-term fight. So we need you to keep showing up. I want to bring on our next speaker who is front and center in this fight. my friend, one of the kindest people that you will meet, and one of the most badass people you'll ever meet, Ani Blair, the executive director of the ACLU of Texas.
We are 5,000 strong. That's a big deal and something to be excited about. My name is Ani Blair, and I am proud to serve as the executive director of the American Civil Liberties Union of Texas. We have worked hard in this state for 87 years. I'm also proud to be here as a constituent of the 18th Congressional District, one of the districts at the heart of the redistricting attacks. Before we go home today, and you will be going home soon, I want you to stay focused on one thing, why we're here and what's at stake. Protecting voters' rights, particularly black and brown voters, to have a say in our democracy. Governor Abbott and Attorney General Ken Paxton are following the president's agenda to dilute the electoral power of black and brown Texans. Redrawing electoral maps mid-decade, attempting to vacate the seats of democratically elected officials, threatening to abuse the FBI's power to arrest elected officials. These actions are a desperate attempt to consolidate the power of a few while ignoring the urgent needs of Texans. My district, what is known as the 18th Congressional District, is more than lines on a map. The 18th embraces the history of black Texans from Emancipation Park, purchased over 100 years ago by freed people, to the HBCU, Texas Southern University, to the University of Houston, one of the most diverse campuses in the entire country. It's the district represented by the late Barbara Jordan, Mickey Leland, Sheila Jackson Lee, and Sylvester Turner. My district is the home of notable Americans and Texans. The attacks we're witnessing on my district, the 18th, and other majority-minority districts are not new. Black and brown Texans have long been disenfranchised, particularly after the dismantling of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And Texas politicians continue to chip away at our rights through voter suppression, firing our Houston Independent School District elected officials, and a hostile takeover, and racial gerrymandering. The Hill Country floods killed more than 135 people, mostly children, and over 2,000 families are still struggling. But this is the latest in a long list of disasters that have affected my family, and you know they have all affected yours. Deadly floods, drought, damaging storms, dwindling water supply, and failing power for our lights, heat, and AC and blazing heat. This is not what Texans want. We want a state where our elected officials care and address our real issues and are held accountable when they don't. Instead, the president and the governor are lying about our immigrant neighbors being a threat, redrawing maps to choose who votes for them, policing who can use which bathroom, censoring what students learn and what books they read, and preventing Texans from getting the health care we need, including access to abortion. At the ACLU of Texas, we've challenged SB 1, the 2021 voter suppression law. We've prevented the state government from enforcing SB 4, the 2023 state deportation scheme. And we've protected Texans making decisions about the health of their family. Today, we claim a bigger, better, broader, and bolder vision for our state. And doing that, just like you've heard every single speaker here today say means that each of us has to act, starting in our own communities. You showed up today, but you can't stop showing up. If you want to know how to show up and what to do next, text Texas to 30403 for actions. Let's build bridges and empower all Texans so everyone has an equal voice in shaping a future where we can all thrive. No exceptions.
Alrighty, y'all. We are going to keep the vibes going. I am super duper excited to welcome to the stage some beautiful talent born and raised here in Austin, Texas. I want y'all to give a big welcome to Latin Grammy nominee and president of the Recording Academy Texas chapter, Gina Chavez.
How we feeling today, y'all? How we feeling today, y'all? I heard a shout out from my wife. That's great. All right, we're gonna start with what speakers up here. I'm so honored to share the stage, so I hope you'll bear with me. Here we go. Redrawing lines so we cannot defeat them, stripping our rights so we can't fight back. Jesus Christ, wonder where he's at. Killing the streets, kidnapping our people, redrawing lines so we cannot defeat them, redrawing lines so we can't fight back. Jesus Christ, wonder where he's at. Our sins is getting intense. Tattoos, drag queens, black and brown skin, trans kids, DEI, immigrants whose life is on the line. They, them, women, scientists, same-sex marriages, Big Bird, Medicaid, folks living in tents. Damn, who will they come for next? Like damn, who will they come for next? But we were made for this moment. This moment, we were made for this moment. 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 Yeah. Wake up, oh sleeper, raise your voice. You are the one you've been waiting for. Wake up, oh sleeper, raise your voice. You are the one you've been waiting. You've been waiting for. This moment.
Gina Chavez. Gina Chavez, everybody! Yeah! Hell yeah. Alrighty, y'all. We have one more speaker for you. All day today, you have heard about how this fight for Texas has not been weeks, months, decades. It's been years. And those of us who are from Texas, who love Texas and care about Texas, know that. And one of my favorite things about our next speaker is that he's making sure that people outside of Texas do not discredit us, do not give up on us. This guy is a Texas fighter. I want you to give it up for Beth O'Rourke.
Thank you. I got it.
You got it. All right.
Hey there. It makes me so happy to see so many of us here together today, because at this very moment, they are trying to break us. The lawsuits, the intimidation, the threats to imprison us, to remove lawmakers duly elected freely and fairly by their constituents from these positions of public trust that they are using right now, not just to fight for their constituents, not just the people of Texas, but each and every single one of us as Americans who continue to want to live in a country of, by, and for the people. They are doing this not because they are strong, those who seek to intimidate us and break us. They do this because they are afraid. They fear this power that they see here today. They panic because they realize if they are unsuccessful in this theft of the election of 2026 right now in the summer of 2025, if they cannot maintain their purchase on power in the House of Representatives, then there will be a check on their lawlessness. There will be accountability for their crimes and corruption. There will be the ability, if Democrats hold the majority, to begin to move forward on an ambitious agenda, no longer transferring this country's wealth to the richest 1%, but returning it to the people who generated that wealth in the first place, working Americans and working Texans. No longer talking, but moving forward on rewriting this country's immigration laws to reflect our values, our lived reality, to legalize every dreamer, the parent of every dreamer, every hard-working American doing back-breaking work across this country. A future where we are no longer complicit in the bombing and the starving and the slaughtering of innocent children in Gaza, but instead use the awesome power of this country to convene the other nations of this planet to establish a free, independent, sovereign Palestinian state, and to work for the safety of those who live there, of those who live in Israel, of those who live in the region. And a future where Texas women can make their own decisions about their own bodies, their own future, and their own health care. Lest anybody think that this is impossible, I ask you to remember, in 1973, abortion was just as illegal in the state of Texas as it is today. But no one from outside this state rode to our rescue. 3 young Texas women prevailed upon an all-male United States Supreme Court to render one of the most important decisions in American history. Our message to Donald Trump, Greg Abbott, and Ken Paxton: do not fuck with the women of Texas or you will find out. And if they lose their purchase on power, they realize that we have the opportunity to hold free and fair elections in this country once again. We can do things like passing the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act so that you can actually cast a ballot in Texas, register to vote, and get on to the rolls. That is why they are so afraid right now, and they will do everything they can to seek to stop us, including trying to divide us, To my fellow Democrats, do not allow them to do this. Whatever it costs, let's maintain our unity. It is our greatest leverage. When and if these state legislators return here, let's make sure that we thank them for the fight, for the courage that they have shown, for the conversation that they has brought to this country. And when they seek to divide us from one another based on our differences, you stand next to that transgender Texan and make sure that they know they are not alone. You stand next to that immigrant, make sure that they know they are not alone. Do not allow them to divide us. Because if we fail, if we allow this division to take place and to grow, if we lose the election of 2026 and the last best hope to win political power and to ensure that we can assert the rights of every single American, I am afraid that the consolidation of authoritarian power in the hands of this president will be nearly unstoppable. And what that means is more masked, plainclothes federal agents without warrants or badges sweeping our fellow Americans off the streets. What that means is more of Trump and Abbott's and Paxton's political opponents targeted for vengeance, for retribution, and yes, even for political violence. And what that means, if we are unsuccessful, is that a Republican-controlled Congress will roll out the royal red carpet for a third Trump term. So we must stand together and we must stand and fight. They want us to bend the knee because they have seen the wealthiest, the most powerful, the elite institutions in this country who actually have the resources to fight back. They are the ones bending the knee right now. Harvard, Columbia, Brown, the Ivy Leagues, the big law firms on the East Coast, Paramount, CBS, Zuckerberg, Bezos, Elon Musk, all of them. They expect us to do the same, but it's up to you and me to show them that in Texas, our knees do not bend. In fact, thanks to everyone who has joined this fight, we were able to make more than $1 million donation to the House Democratic Caucus, the Black Caucus, the Mexican American Caucus. And we are going to continue to fight, to raise, to organize, to register, to mobilize. We will fight on the floor of this House. We will fight in the courtroom. We will fight in the streets, door to door, meeting and registering and turning out those voters who are going to decide the outcome of 2026. Whatever the fucking maps are, we are going to win them in this state. We are going to fight in Texas, and thanks to your fight, we are now fighting in California. Thank you, Governor Newsom, and the Democrats in this state for keeping it up. Lastly, for those in our lives who doubt us and the power that we have as a people in a free nation, let us remember who we are at the end of the day, where we come from, and what we're made of. I know that the odds look intimidating today in Texas, but over the course of these last 249 years, whatever they have thrown at us, we have overcome it. We freed ourselves from the mightiest, most powerful empire on the planet to secure our independence and ensure that we are free from ever being ruled by tyrants or kings. We defeated the armies of the Confederacy to ensure that never again could one American own another. We defeated the divisions of Hitler's Third Reich to destroy fascism abroad and defend democracy here at home. And the generation that followed theirs, not even 20 years later, they marched, they stood, they fought for the full civil and political rights of every single American against the armed and elected thugs of the Jim Crow South, and they won. They won here in Texas, they won in Alabama, they won in Mississippi, they won across the country. That is who we are at the end of the day. And all of that service, and all of that struggle, and all of that sacrifice flows through those 249 years to us here today in Austin in the year of our Lord, 2025. And what we do with this great inheritance is going to define us in the eyes of history, and it will determine what is possible going forward. So I ask you, do not allow this moment to pass without a fight. Do what you can with what you have, wherever you are today and every single day going forward. Are we together on this? Are we going to fight? Are we going to win? Let's make it so. Thank you, Austin, Texas, for coming out. Thank you, Drew and the team here. Nos vemos. Thank you.
Give it up for Bethel and all of our speakers! Yeah! All right, we are almost done, but first I want to remind you, we still have work to do. Special session 2.0 just kicked off, and this body is going to try to pass those maps. This body is going to try to further infringe on our right to have an abortion. This body is attacking trans Texans, and it's not providing relief to our communities that were impacted by the floods. So we need you to make sure that you text Texas, all spelled out, to 30403, Texas 30403, to stay involved, because this is a long-term fight and we cannot do it without you.
Yeah! And y'all are not getting away without at least one more chance. Y'all might know this one too. When our communities are under attack, what do? Stand up, fight back. When our communities are under attack, what do? Stand up, fight back. When our communities are under attack, what do? Stand up, fight back. 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 Hell yeah, Texas! Woo!
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being in this fight with us and being in community with us. Now go hydrate and get some air conditioning, and we'll see you the next time we'll see you